Well, hi there, it's Graham Cooper here from Cooper and Cooper Investment Property Solutions. This is just going to be my last video for today. The reason that I'm saying that is because I work basically here with natural light coming in, and once it gets about after midday, generally speaking, for my location here and for where I am in the room that I am in, the light starts to decline from that point on. But anyway, so we're making videos early in the morning. Subject I want to cover today is what are the basics. Let's do a little bit of a summary of what it takes or what you need to become a property investor. Because we've done all that in early videos, but it's with all the things going on in the world and your daily life, it's easy to maybe forget the basics of what you need. So what do you need? Well, firstly, in relation to a typical lender, so in other words, if you're going to borrow money to make your investment, and you should always really borrow money even if you have the cash, because if you borrow the money, then you will get a tax benefit from the ATO. Whereas if you use your cash, well, you just spent the money, you've invested the money, but you're not going to get any immediate loan benefit from the ATO because you don't have a loan. So think about that. People often over the years have come to me and said, oh, I've just won the lottery and I've got $1 million and I want to go out and buy some properties for cash. And I say, whoa. That's not necessarily the best option. And then, of course, we have to go into some detail about their financial position and maybe talk to their accountant or what have you. But anyway, so let's come back to the subject. Okay, so the first thing is age group. Yeah, well, if you're borrowing from a typical lender, they're going to look at your age and how do you qualify for a loan. So the first thing is you need to be ideally you have to be over the legal age of 18. So you have to be 18 years of age, so that you are a responsible adult, as the saying goes, and probably from a major lender's point of view, you need to be under the age of 60, typically around about 55, maybe 58 maximum. The reason for that, of course, is because they're looking at the repayment schedule, and if they're intending to give you a 30-year loan, or in some cases 40-year loan, don't they love that? Then you need to still be alive to make your payments. Mind you, that's again there's a misconception there, because most property investors, or many property investors, only hold their property for 8 to 10 years. Because by that time they've made a considerable amount of capital growth, and they can then cash up, sell the property, take that profit and start with another property. And there are some other things there that I would discuss in another video as to why you would do that. Okay, so the first thing was age, 18 to 55 ideally. Be able to borrow some money. Yeah, that's important. What does it take to qualify to borrow some money? Well, what it really takes is an income. You have to have an income coming from somewhere to be able to afford to make those payments, those monthly payments, or fortnightly payments, however you might decide to structure it. Again, structure is very important, and that's something that we go into detail with when you're dealing with us and purchasing a property through Cooper and Cooper. So in relation to the actual borrowing, yes, it's important to know how you're going to borrow it, and that you have a good income to be able to borrow. So typically, again, we're always talking about the four major banks here, because most people are dealing with those. So the lender's going to look at your income and the regularity of your income. In other words, how long have you had your current job? Now, typically, they like you to have a job history of 3 years, ideally. Sometimes they will accept a little less, but if you've only had a new job for 12 months, they might consider that to be a little bit not unstable, but obviously, you know, you're not in an established job, so you may need some assistance. If you're a young first-time investor, you may need to borrow some guarantee from your parents, so they could go guarantor for you for maybe 3 years, or you may simply have them agree to lend you some equity. Typically they would own a property or certainly be paying it off, and probably owe less than 50% of the purchase price when they bought it, so they've paid most of their mortgage off. So you can borrow some equity from them again for maybe a 3-year period. The reason I talk about 3 years, because typically then your new property that you purchased has developed some equity through the capital growth and the improved value of the property over a 3-year period, 3 to 5 years. Okay, so yes, so you need to be able to repay the loan. So you need to have a job, J-O-B, yes, one of those things that they tie you down to for 40 years for. Yes, yes, so you need to have a credit history. Yes, credit history, yeah. Well, you know, with the digital age, everybody's tracking what you do. You can't do anything these days without them knowing. Someone knows where you are, what you're doing, how long you're doing it for, if you're paying for it, how much you've paid, whether you've borrowed the money, whether you've gone into debt to buy it. Oh my goodness, they know everything. They know your middle name, they know your parents' names. They know when you had your last drink and what you had for breakfast, literally. Okay, so, you know, that's the age we live in. Everything is being tracked. So you need a good credit history. So if you've had a bank card or a credit card and you've had a few slow payments or missed payments, they'll know all that. And if they don't know it, they'll want to know it. And if you've talked about it on Facebook, they'll certainly find out about it. Okay, so yeah, look, they're the basics. Okay, so you need to be in that age category. Ideally, you need to have a fairly stable, steady job, and you need to have a reasonable credit history. Now, look, you know, sometimes, you know, as human beings, we have problems or issues that cause us to have some hiccups in any of those categories, and so as experienced investors ourselves at Cooper & Cooper, we can help you with those things. We can assist you to you know, get around some of those challenges that you may face when you're ready to invest. And you know, we have the knowledge and we have the connections and we have the ability to help you solve those minor issues. Okay, so get in touch with us. It's time for you to make a move in 2021 and you know, take on this exciting journey. It's a very exciting journey, let me tell you. You know, it can be a bit daunting in the beginning, but that's what we're here for, to take out the stress of all the challenges that come up, and to know how to tackle them and know how to make life easier for yourself now and in the future. Okay, so as I've said before, please go to our website www.cooperandcooper.com.au. Click on the contact form there and fill it in, and send us your details, and let's start the journey together. Oh, and by the way, please like this video, hit the notification button so that you can get information about up and coming videos. Thank you for watching, and by the way, don't forget that we've got our ebook. I can send you a copy of how to get started as well, all in black and white, the 5 steps. And as you can see from our motto there, it's very important. We are practiced investors, so we can tell you that as a fact. Lifestyle design through property investment. So get yourself together, take up the challenge 2021, make it your year. We'll certainly help you, and we look forward to hearing from you soon. Okay, have a great day, stay safe and stay well. It's bye from me. See you later.